tracing the words with her finger as if they might lead somewhere concrete. William's efforts continued. He invited Thomas Fenwick to supper one Sunday in late summer. Dressed in a fine coat, carrying a small gift of imported tea for the household, conversation stayed polite. Crops, weather, and her skill at the harpsichord, which she played adequately but without pleasure. After the meal, Fenwick walked with her in the garden under the live oak, nodded, offered no encouragement. When he left, she watched his feet. The rebellion remained to spend more hours away, and the careful toward the docks repairs, collecting each visit ended the same way. And a wool captain short payday. He appeared on days when the ship was in port, always quiet, always listening more than speaking. Endured the visit with the same outcome. The decision felt less like romance and more like a practical step toward the path she had been watching from the docks. The wedding took place quietly in October 1750 at a small wooden chapel on the edge of Charlestown. No family attended. Anne wore her plainest linen dress, the one she used for riding. James stood in his cleanest shirt. The minister, paid a small fee, asked the required questions and pronounced them man and wife with the same tone he used for the couple. They signed the register with their names. That was all. No feast followed, no gifts exchanged. They spent the first night in a rented room above the Crown and Compasses, listening to the sounds of the harbour through the open window. William learned of the marriage the next morning, when a neighbour who had witnessed the ceremony rode out to the plantation with the news. His reaction was immediate and final. He summoned Anne to the front room and told her in a flat voice that she had chosen her own path and could no longer consider herself part of his household. The disownment was complete. No share of the land, no money from the strongbox, no return to the house she had grown up in. He spoke of the shame it would bring to his standing among the planters and the legal work he depended on. Anne stood listening without argument. She had expected nothing else. When he finished, she turned, walked to the stable, saddled Bess one last time, and rode back to town, with only the clothes on her back and a small bundle of personal items she had prepared in advance. James met her at the docks. He had already arranged passage on a trading sloop bound for New Providence, leaving within the week. The vessel was small, 30 tons, carrying general cargo and a handful of passengers seeking their own fresh starts. The couple paid for their berths with the last coins James had saved from his previous voyage. Anne felt a strange